What's up, guys? It's Acro Brandon. I have another little video here about my Meepo board. Today's actually a really big day. Today was the first day that I rode the board in Manhattan. So if you watched the first video, you know that I was talking about how I bought this board to be a commuter board, something that I could ride from my house down to the train station, from Grand Central down to the studio where I work at, and that happened today. I don't have any video of that right now because I wanted to make sure that I survived the day and didn't crash and eat shit. But I also got some orangutan nipples. Woo! Tune in Tokyo. Is he with you? Anyways, so one of the things that I said in the first video, at least in the comments, was that I felt that the trucks were a little bit tight. Maybe it was the bushings. So I did loosen it up a little bit, and that gave me a little bit of a tighter turning radius. Somebody else recommended that I should get some orangutan nipples as they're a little bit softer, so I thought I'd give them a try. I got these in 2.5 days from a company called Tactics. It's like a skate shop. They ship them here super fast, and it was their free shipping option too. So big ups to them. I give them props. So I'm gonna take this down to the park right now. I'll show you what my turning radius is currently with the loosened trucks, and then I'm gonna swap on the orangutan nipples, and we're gonna see what the ride feels like, if it's any better. I also have a couple other things I wanna show you on my board. I've only had it 3 days, and I'm going, you know, full nerd mode in it, you know? You never go full retard. Forrest Gump? He was stupid, but it wasn't retarded. Same I am. He went full retard. No Grammy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and pull just a few laps here with the loosened up trucks with the Meepo bushings on them, so you can kind of get an idea of like what my circular turning radius is, and then we'll swap on the orangutan nipples, and then we'll see if there's any major improvements in that. Okay, we'll be right back. So what you can see here is basically I would use like half of this court to make donuts and pull circles here. Although today riding in Manhattan was actually fine. I didn't have any issues taking right-hand turns, you know, like going from one street to another. Sometimes it was a little bit tight at the lower speeds, but I actually didn't need to, I wasn't turning like a fucking semi, you know, so that was really nice. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna swap out the orangutan nipples. We'll put those on and see if we can figure anything out here. So for the back, I'm gonna have to pull the whole truck off or undo the wires. That sounds too hard. It's easier just to pull the whole truck off so that I can separate the two and then put the nipples back on for the rear side. Okay, so now we're done. That took a little bit of work. This one, we needed to loosen all 4 bolts from the truck itself so that you could just lift the whole thing off without disconnecting the wires. There's 2 different types of bushings for the front and for the rear. Got these red ones. They're a little bit hard, but the ones on the rear are black, and these ones are really hard. Like, oh my god, these things are so hard. As soon as I put it in my hand, I just felt how hard it is. I've never felt anything this hard before. We'll see if there's any difference in the ride between it being soft front and back with both of the orangutan nipples, or if I need to put one of these in the back as well. Since that's where the motor comes from. So let's take it for a little ride. Let's see if I need to tighten up the trucks and what kind of modifications I need to make. Definitely feels really loose right now, so I might tighten it up a little bit more on the front and back before I even take a ride. So we're gonna see what happens here. Let's tighten it up just a couple. Okay, so right now the ride feels pretty good. It's a little softer. I mean, that's what they're supposed to be. The orange ones were soft. I believe the purple ones were medium, and then the purple ones are yellow. Yellow is like really hard. So I don't really know how this is going to handle up to speed yet. So until I take that around the court, on the street, really try it with some high speed, I don't know if I'm going to get any speed wobbles or anything like that. For carving, it feels really good. So in my backage, it feels a little bit looser. So we'll see what happens here in the coming moments, okay? So I'm gonna take it for a spin around the court and see what happens and see if I need to tighten it back up. Okay, so that was fun. I just took it for a lap around the park. Definitely carving substantially better, a lot better. I don't know if I like it this soft yet. I think for carving and just cruising speed, it's pretty fucking awesome. I mean, it feels a lot better on my backside. I'm just leaning into it, carving. It's really nice. May go back and put the rear bushings back in just to try it and see what it's like to have the nipples on the front and not on the rear, because I don't know how soft I need it front to back. I definitely know I want it a little bit looser on the front so I can make my turns and, you know, hit the hard corners when I'm driving through the city, but only time will tell. Let's talk about a couple other things that happened today. So like I said earlier, today was the first day that I rode this down to the train station. Problem number one. I came around the corner. Dude, I can walk to the train station in like 10 minutes, okay? But riding the boosted board is fucking excited. So I come out the house, I go down the street, I make a right-hand corner, then it starts to slope down really hard. And it slopes down and it came around the left-hand side. And when I brake, I don't do like a steady brake. You know, I kind of just like to throw it back like, brake, 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 tap the brake, you know, as I need it. And I'm never really at a point where I need to do full-on brake to a complete stop. Now something happened and I don't know what it is. If it was my mistake or if something fucked up and glitched, but there was no brakes, okay? So I come around the corner and I'm going pretty fucking fast and I'm like, brake, brake, no more brakes. It was like, and then it stopped and I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to jump off the board. Luckily I wasn't going mock or anything like that. I look at the board and I hit the power and the wheels were running the wrong way. I think. I could have seen it wrong. I didn't like touch it. I was in a hurry to catch the train. There's been a couple other times today where I like to just feather the brake like, you know, like as I'm slowing. If I go too fast, I don't want to hit it hard. Or maybe I just need a little, like a quick brake jolt just to slow me down. And a couple times it felt like it wasn't catching or they weren't engaging in time. Only a couple more days will let me know whether or not this is an actual glitch or if I'm just being a shitty board driver. So something to keep in mind. Other than that, riding in Manhattan was really good. I felt safe. The streets were good. I was going over like the subway grates that they have in the street. I was hitting some of the manhole covers, sometimes on purpose, sometimes not. Went through a couple of little construction areas where the asphalt was a little bit choppy. No issues whatsoever, and it was awesome because I didn't have to wait in any traffic. You just zip right past it just like you see. I even ran a couple of errands afterwards, running around the city, made a few bucks here and there. It was really nice having the board. It really offered me a lot of freedom to get around a lot easier and quicker because Manhattan's a huge fucking city, okay? Lastly, on Sunday, I'm getting ready to go ride the board down at Central Park with some of my friends. I know I mentioned that in the last video. And then hopefully if I stay late enough and everything works out good, New York City has a huge e-board group, and so they're gonna go out. So I was watching some of the videos. They'll shred at night and they have lights on their boards. So we've got the one little, you know, blinky doohickey that Kieran provided us, which is actually decent. I went to Walmart and I was looking for some different like lights and reflectors, and I can make another video, but none of them were really good for the board because they're meant for bikes and the trucks face down so the light faces back. And this was actually better than the other reflector because although it has LEDs right here, the light disperses through the whole thing. So I was looking online for headlights, and they have shred lights if you haven't seen them, right? They're meant for skateboards. They're 40 bucks, they're low key, they have like a, they're like 40 lumens on the low setting, 80 on the high setting. They come with nice little brackets, actually look really low profile and nice and cool. And then they have a little USB so you can plug them in and charge them right there. And you're supposed to get about 3 hours worth of light out of the thing. Now me, I'm a cheap motherfucker and I like DIY. So I saw another video of a dude who built some of his own lights for his board. And I was like, you know what, I'll give that a try. So what I got here, and I don't know if you can see this, right, is I have this light, basically a flashlight, right? Looks pretty bright. So what he bought was 2 LED lights, 2 flashlights that were waterproof from Harbor Freight. I think they were like $2 each. You know, and you had to replace the batteries. Now I don't know what the output was, but the other thing is he would clamp them on with these electrical connectors. It's like a clamp with rubber insulation, right? So this thing looks pretty awesome, okay? I don't know if you can see this really good. If I put it right here in front of the camera, okay? But this was only 10 bucks at Walmart. The clamps were like $1.50 each, so that's 3, it's 13. It uses 3 AAA batteries, and the output of this flashlight supposedly is 200 lumens. So if you take the shred lights at their highest power, which is 80 on one side and 80 on the other, they should have a combined lumen output of 160. So this one flashlight provides more light than that. So maybe this Sunday I'll get a chance to check it out and see how bright it is, as well as maybe do like a nighttime review on doing this. The downside obviously is the fact that you have to replace the battery. So there's 3 AAA batteries and you're supposed to get about 4 hours of runtime out of this. Now if you're like the eco-friendly person like I am, you can put in rechargeable batteries, but then you have to carry a few extra batteries for nighttime rides, or recharge the batteries. On eBay, I also found an option that there's like a replacement rechargeable battery. It's $14 and it's the same size as whatever these little 3 AAA battery pack holders are that go inside of here. So I might look at that if I stick with this. But what's good about it is you can take this rechargeable battery, supposedly slip it inside the flashlight here, and then it also has a USB port built right into the side of that battery. So you can just slip the battery out and plug it in and charge it, which is almost the same thing as doing the shred lights. I'm just being a cheap ass motherfucker and I wanted some lights now, and to see if I could build something for say 25 bucks instead of 40. Now the shred lights, they look pretty awesome though. They're low profile, they're small, they're teeny, you know, it's got all the bells and whistles, everything you could want. But this is what I've got for now. So hopefully all this little information today is assistance to you. If you're considering buying the Orangutan Nipples, this is what you know. I'll update you more later on in the next couple of days because I'm riding this thing every day. I'm like totally geeked out on it. I'm having a good time, no issues whatsoever. And I'll report back with anything else that changes. All right, see ya.